Howdy folks, welcome to Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest, our original 5th edition D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Vincent, Kara, Hannah, and Alana. Tina is not with us tonight. Tina is under the weather just a little bit, but we hope that you feel better. And we're going to play some D&D, but before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First, I think there is a thing that right over there, when you do Wheel or Woe, will show up, and it's only Wheel or Woe where it will do it. But if that works, we'll expand it to some of the other channel point rewards, and that'll be great. So yeah, we'll see.
I'd like to do a wheel to test it, but only if you'll let us have the wheel in the game.
Sure.
I can't even do it.
Yes.
Olive's in the chat. Olive, wheel us.
Yeah.
I got it.
So-
I'm on it.
Yeah. So that is a thing that perhaps is going to
give
work.
us a
We'll
low
see.
later. We should just accept
Oh, look at that! It actually does. Yeah. So I'll have to get it.
Oh, the little treasure chest.
Yeah. I'll have to get a little thing to we'll get a custom graphic. If anybody has any suggestions, feel free to put it in chat. But that is a thing that we have now, so hopefully I won't miss them quite as much. And then also we played Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign last night. There was a very long fight between Mosaic Team 5 and the Katydid Queen. It was great. There's a lot of really interesting moments that were enabled by the architecture and by the creative use of flight and the lack thereof. But you can check that out more on YouTube at Alberon RPG on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by this. And then we have at Alberon RPG as Instagram, as TikTok, as all the different social media things. And then finally, Sirenscape is a digital toolset that you can use to add relaxing harp music to your background, like this. Ooh, right now I just typed in the word happy, and that's all I could see. But I have a new laptop, and it makes everything actually work. Relaxing harp music like this. You can do things like a lightning spell. You could do things like something else here. Ooh, this one. Oh my god. This one, oh god, this one is Ghast Bite. So for adding in all kinds of sound effects, October's right around the corner. That gas might be perfect for
That's
that.
right. It's almost spooky season.
Here's Ghost.
So close.
Remember to make your Halloween costume.
Very subtle Ghost.
That actually tracks. Oh,
There it goes.
Wait, that's the ghost?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's got a rumbly.
Yeah. So for ghosts like that and
Dulcet
more
baritone
Sirenscape digital tools
ghost.
that you can use to add sound effects to your game. And with that. And with that, we can get right into our recap.
I didn't get you before the start, so I had to.
yeah, right.
All right.
Let's do this. So sad.
Wandering Hearts, last we played, you went deep into the belly of Lord Tel'el'dar, into its dungeons, to try to find the source of the shadows that have been spilling out into the fields of folly above.
Right.
You uncovered a trap designed to crush you should you try to unlock a door without the correct key. Through sheer luck, Valis guessed the correct key after narrowing it down to 6 of the original 24 on the keyring that Ori had obtained previously. You pushed through into another hallway and found that it led to a barricade workshop where the imprisoned individuals could make barricades for the Order of the Emerald Fang that garrisoned this place prior to its fall. Within, Alina used their spectral mage hand to retrieve a glimmering silver pendant that seemed to pulse with cold magic. You went past a mess hall, again with only Alina looking in, as the rest of you passed, to find a room that off to the left smelled suspiciously blue, as Rez put it. And as many of you neared this place, you felt feelings of sorrow. You remembered things that were very sad to all of you. And so you decided to not go in that direction. You went to the end of the hallway, instead finding a small keyhole in a almost impossible to spot door. And then, once more, Billy this time, completely by random, guessed the correct key out of the remaining 23 and managed to bypass the entirety of this first floor dungeon, essentially. With 0 penalties for you and any of your poor choices, you pushed into a secret corridor which you recognized would allow the guards to move about rapidly between sections of the dungeon, as well as avoid the brutal halls of traps. You found yourselves in a general holding room that had been tossed, some of the desiccated and ancient remains still bundled together and arranged into the geometric shape known as a pile by way of randomly tossing them, and a huge adamantine pair of doors that blocks your way to what is known as the Sinner's Circle. Reasoning that the last door had a guard, you made your way back to the room that had felt blue, pushed your way past a ruined ballista where indeed you had told Cheshire to man in the off chance that something should happen. So that's what Cheshire's doing, for what it's worth.
Is it?
It works out
tracks.
okay, I guess.
I mean, Cheshire,
obviously we'd rather have Tina here, but
Cheshire would take me literally.
You descended 5 stone steps into a slightly lowered block of cells with a handful of desiccated corpses, dead, their faces covered with skeletal hands. In particular, one seemed to be near some kind of light source that glimmered from within their pockets or the folds of their adornments or somewhere from within the cell. And in the dark cell block, that is where we begin this evening. Great musical timing, too. All right.
I have the time as 19th of summertime, almost
Arcane
evening, we
anthems.
think.
we've been underground for a while.
What year?
1481.
Yeah. It's 7 p.m.
7 p.m. on the 14th of summer?
Billy checks her watch. She's got an Apple
14th
Watch.
sometime.
Not Spencer.
It's just drawn on. So in this holding cell that all of you are in, and bringing up the combat camera, you at home can see a little bit of it as well, but you can see it much closer at Alberon RPG. Although I do have a close-up cam. Does it work? Oh, it does. It's the exact same amount of close-up, though. You see this holding cell, and Ori, if I remember correctly, you are right at the bar door. You are looking in, and you can see this faint shimmering blue. And from this element, whatever it is, kind of disguised or hidden by the body, that is where this feeling seems to radiate from.
The sad feeling?
Yes.
I think it was Billy who was standing at the
okay.
cell with the sparkly.
Oh yeah, look
Yeah,
at that.
right.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Billy
Yeah,
was
I'm
the one that
standing
like
at
flipped over the body
these
with the.
gates.
One of
So
the best things
I-
about having a persistent space is that I just don't have to move the minis.
Yeah.
But I just haven't looked at them. So yes, right there, right in front of us, there's Billy.
I want to say to Ori, be careful when you're there, because I think that if the sad man isn't already in here, he might be in that direction. So,
I'm gonna take a look down here, but we should figure
no,
out what's...
don't go that way.
I'm not going down. The bars are still up, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm just
those
like
bars.
looking through the bars.
So those are like the barred doors that can like go down or go up. I think they're called a portcullis technically.
But we can see through them.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just looking through there. Wow.
You had seen, it's similar to the
it's-
door that Rez had squeezed through as a rat.
Okay, so we can see the hallway
Oh yeah.
here.
So like you could, in theory, face step into the hallway. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just looking.
Alina
check
is
down.
behind Billy, looking over her shoulder as close as she dares without getting swatted away.
You get real close. So right now, Billy, you're like, okay, there's something weird, and then it's just like Ori, Alina.
No, I'm over here.
Oh, okay. So just Alina looking over your shoulder.
Res Alina.
Well, Rez is on Alina's shoulder as per usual, so yeah, both of us are
It's like a little totem pole.
Minka, what are you doing?
I was hanging back with Cheshire. Currently convinced that this room is full of sad ghosts.
Okay.
So I'm basically using the stairs as a. I remember this was described as the area where the ballista was above,
Yep.
and there's a staircase down we can clearly see into.
Yes, it's like a pretty. It's a very small. It's 5 steps, five stone steps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm using my small height advantage to keep an eye out for ghost ambush.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Gamble.
Keeping us-
Ghost ambush. That's actually not bad.
Ghost ambush.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay. With the dirty 20, you look out and you can see there are these. From where you are, you really only can see one of these corpses that is like up, and you can see the hands reach through the bars. You can see little skeletal fingers and the faint bits of light that might be emanating from any light sources that your compatriots have. But aside from that, you don't see any ghosts, sad or otherwise. I will say, Billy,
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
with that wheel, As you peer through and you're like looking around, you can see that beyond just this blue glowing thing, which you cannot see clearly. Actually, make a perception check. Maybe you can. You haven't done that yet.
I did flip the corpse over.
Yeah.
It's just so fuzzy in there with my 13 perception.
So you don't really have any idea where or what this glowing object can be, but with the wheel you do see that it looks unlike the others. Although the other ones did have their mouths bound, this one seems to have something like wedged into the mouth as well. Almost tied there with cloth, perhaps. It's not whatever is causing this blue glow. That seems to be on the other side of the corpse.
Billy's gonna move further in.
Okay.
And she like takes her dagger out and like tries to like slice off the whatever's bound in there. Is it the mouth is closed, or is it like bound shut like a gag, or is it like?
So right now, the hands covering the face. You can't clearly see it.
But there's
But
just
you
like,
can see the edges of this binding that go around and behind the skeletal elements of the neck. And so you can see that there is probably something there. There's a bulge near the front of it that suggests that it's not just like flat against the mouth. Outside of that, you can't see too much.
Turkey sandwich in there.
Yeah.
All right,
As
so
Billy
very
leans
much
in,
like
Alina
that.
goes, "Be careful."
Okay. You go in, you take the key, you unlock the door with no resistance whatsoever. You want to open the door?
yeah, want to go in there and like. Billy's intent was to go in there and flip the corpse over with her sword,
Okay.
just to see the blue thing underneath. And if there's like something covering the corpse's mouth with maybe something there, fully want to see what that is.
Yeah, no problem. So you go over, you flip the corpse over. Parts of it just fall apart into ruin. Like there is no cartilage to connect the limbs. And so as you flip it over, the arms still stay where they were. And it's really just the torso and the head and the neck that flop over. But the face is completely obfuscated. You can see it's been wrapped around. There is something large and vaguely spherical. It looks almost like a rock or a stone, but the kind that you might use to like prop a door open almost, so a little bit heavier, not a pebble by any means. And on the other side of them, as you roll them over, you can see this dark blue sphere. Although as you look at it, when you go to like one side, it's almost flat in one dimension, and so you can almost like lose it as you look at it straight on. This, as you get closer, there's again this intense feeling of sadness, but as you are here now, it isn't such a passive feeling. Before, you had this moment where there was a crash of thunder and you were back in a place that you remember being in a long time ago. This feels a lot more active, and it feels a lot more interested. Make it with a 20. You feel like you can hear things beginning to shift around.
Guys,
What are you doing,
I think they're
Ori,
ghosts.
while all this is happening?
I'm trying to look down the hall and see if there's anything
Okay, make a perception check.
down there. Also, being careful because that's where the sad is emanating from. Right?
No,
Oh, sad's coming from the cell.
so that's coming from the cell that Billy's outside.
Oh,
This
oh,
is where
just
Sad
from
is
the
coming
cell.
from.
From that
Oh,
specific
okay.
cell, yeah. If you were to look out the window that you're looking at right now, you would see a short hallway that leads to that long hallway that connects on one end to the barricade workshop and the hall with all those portraits.
So this loops back.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna kind of be like, guess we're going in a circle
So-
here.
This thing that's
Turn
in the
back.
mouth, is it the same like spherical size as the blue thing?
No, a little smaller, and you can't really see what it is. It's bound, but it's I would say like. I was about to say the size of a potato. There's so many different kinds of potatoes, and the one I'm thinking about is like not like a russet potato
Could there
or
be
something.
maybe like a potato rock shape?
Is it like this size?
Yeah, a little bit bigger than that in terms of how wide it is. So, but to that like end, it would not comfortably fit into like a normal mouth. And so this was probably either like forced into the detriment of like the facial tissue, or it was placed in postmortem.
I think
Billy's continuing the investigation, cuts off the cloth and tries to, like, I guess, chop at the limbs, although it's been there long enough that the limbs should just, like,
The limbs are
push
no
aside.
longer, they're still on the ground. You turn the torso over, the limbs are like still exactly where they were. They're like, they've like melted onto the floor basically.
Cool. So just
Like
The loose cloth from like the sleeves comes away with the torso, but the arms are still on the ground.
Do you want
What
help?
was your check?
it's really
You said you were doing a perception check?
Oh,
basically
I
dust.
guess I will do that perception check.
Yeah, do you want help though?
21.
Amazing. So Minka, you hear, you swear that you hear something, and Ori, as you turn around and look, you recognize that your shadow not beneath you.
Oh, where is it?
And Billy, actually everybody, can you
Look
guys
out!
roll for initiative?
Yay! Initiative!
And everybody, as
You realized
Minka,
that his shadow wasn't underneath him?
yes, and Minka, as you yell out, guys, we have ghosts, and you hear Ori go, shout out, everybody can take +1 to their initiative modifier.
Hey!
As you actually, completely by coincidence, have like people posted at both ends for once.
Are you saying we strategized correctly?
Yikes.
Don't worry, it was an accident.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
The shadows aren't rolling well tonight because I'm not.
I am probably
How low down is Ori?
initiative.
Is Ori as low down as Echo was yesterday?
No.
So, Billy, you're beginning sharing space, unfortunately. We'll get back to that.
I disliked the phrase, we'll get back to that from a DM.
Oh, I hate this so much.
Okay, let's get some more appropriate music.
Go.
This ghost is vibing.
Just straight vibing.
It's time to
Party rockin'!
Do not say the name, please. Not a sponsor.
He's even doing the finger guns.
It's one slick ghost.
It's like if the fawns died and
Said the name.
It's like if the fawns died. Who are you talking about? Right?
this guy.
Yeah, I kinda, now that you mention that,
He's like a little jacket.
I use that. Okay, so anybody natural 20?
No.
Ooh, unfortunate. 25 to 20.
22.
Dirty 20.
20. And have you rolled for res?
Yeah, he's got a number that is 16.
Hey, pretty good.
Yeah, he's
All right. 20 to 15.
17.
17.
That's me without the 1 in front.
Ooh.
7.
And I got a 13.
7, 13. Okay.
What's going on, guys?
It's fine.
Okay. So,
sleepy.
the way that this works out,
Yeah.
we have Billy going first, followed by Alina, followed by Minka, followed by Rez, followed by Ori, then the Shadows, and then Valis. So actually, very well done for everybody in terms of rolls. Just 1 second here.
Oh, I forgot to add the +1s. Is it going to make any difference?
I mean, Minka, what's your dexterity?
Sorry.
It's a +3, 17.
+3. Rez's?
Also +3, 17.
+3. I'm gonna say Minka goes still first.
That's fair. That's fair. Sorry for the
So, Billy,
More on motivation.
all of a sudden you hear watch out, and you hear from the other side, we've got ghosts. And as you like look up and you can see this shape kind of like bulging and moving, suddenly it just, and the thing that was around that mouth just goes completely flat. Whatever that shape was just disappears, and you feel your shadow stretch out under your feet and behind you. And turning around, it is just looming over you, between you and the door.
Hello. Billy. Oh.
What you doing?
Oh, I didn't think I'd be first.
You rolled a 22. You knew what we were rolling.
Billy is just gonna pull out her sword and go for a slice.
Go make your attack roll.
I mean, it's already out.
Yeah. I was assuming
Obviously.
that most of you are walking around this creepy dungeon with your weapons ready.
Hey, 25.
25 absolutely hits.
That is 10 points of magical piercing damage.
Very nice. And yeah, that seems to do the full amount of damage that it needs to be doing.
And then Billy's just gonna... Sorry, Billy's gonna hang out.
Okay. So, Billy, you apologize mentally and hang out right there with this shadow completely almost surrounding you and stretching over you. But that is your turn. That brings us to Alina, followed by Minka.
So are these the shadows that we've been fighting? Like,
Yes.
Okay.
As far as you can tell. I mean, there could be a difference.
Do we recognize them as they seem like
They
it?
look like
you look over, and
shadows.
it's like, and one just goes, and you're like, oh yeah, remember me?
Hi!
All right. I'm going to. What's the light situation in here? Is there any illumination, or are we just relying on our
So
dark
at the
vision?
moment, daylight is down. Minka is not in starlight form. So does anybody else have any passive light sources out?
I do believe I had my torch at my hip, or not my torch, my hooded lantern.
Yeah. And then I remember at one point you had said that you had a lit torch, Alina, specifically because you said, well, then I don't really need a lit. Oh, I guess I'll have a torch anyways.
Oh, I did say that.
So you do
Yeah,
actually have
I've
a
been
torch.
holding a torch this whole time, guys. Look at me go.
You're like, does anybody? Oh, right.
Anyone got a light?
I'm going to.
Too close.
Do I have any more flies? I think I might be done flying for this rest. I'm so sorry. Bear with me 1 second.
No extra prong.
Features and traits. I have one that tell ya. So,
One more.
I'm going to save it. I'm just gonna come over here. Sorry, this has been a chaotic moment for me.
Good pronking moment.
Yeah. So she's gonna come over here intending to like get a clear shot at that, and then she looks this way and is like, and turns and Eldritch blasts that guy instead.
Yeah, make your attack roll.
Goes. That's gonna be 21 to hit.
21 hits.
I'll roll for the second one, and then dirty 20 for the other one.
Dirty 20 hits as well.
Nice. Okay, so we've got.
I think that's what.
13 points of force damage, plus 3 points of bludgeoning damage, plus 10 points of force damage. Sorry, so 23 force, 3 bludgeoning.
Okay. The bludgeoning doesn't seem to do what you would want, but it doesn't. Oh, actually, it does really matter. You
Guys, I think I know how many hit points they have.
you rush and you turn, and as you do, you see this shadow lunge towards you through the bars, almost like grating itself into 3, but instantly just re-merging on the other side. And so you have to turn and fire this Eldritch Blast. It flickers and almost becomes incorporeal for a moment, and still tracing elements that are falling away and sublimating into the air. It still is reforming, but certainly much weaker. Anything else, Alina?
I'm gonna, let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna like take a step back, like, oh sorry. And then Therese, she's gonna tell him to go help Billy by distracting the shadow that's in front of her. So he's gonna be taking the help action for Billy.
Fantastic. Okay. So as soon as you say that, Rez says, all right, you got it, and just you hear these huge wings carry the fat little imp into combat. But that is your turn. That brings us to Minka, followed by the fat little imp.
Yes. So Minka's first gonna run down the stairs.
Okay.
And seeing that there are now ghosts.
You were right.
I was right. She's gonna cast daylight on her staff.
Okay.
So it is now emitting daylight.
Nice.
So that's 60-foot radius from me. So
Where do you want to be?
one more slot forward, please. I'll be right there for
All right,
now.
so I think you get all the way to the back wall here.
Yeah. So
And then
daylight.
all the way back that way.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to do form of the archer. So I'm going to then shoot. So can I see the shadow that Alina just fired at, or am I too odd of an angle?
I think you don't have the angle on it right there.
Okay. Can I see any other shadows?
You can see the one all the way at the very end of the hall.
Okay.
And I would say that's probably it, unfortunately,
Okay.
at the moment.
I will shoot that one.
There you go. Make your attack roll.
It's probably a miss. Unless the
It's
shadows...
always disheartening when someone rolls and then you hear them go.
It wasn't a 1, so we'll take it. That is a +8, so that is a total of 10.
10. That is not enough. Unfortunately. These shadows are a little bit hardier than your average villager, and so you fire. And so as you come down, you like come down the stairs, you turn over, you see Valis there, and you're like, hell yeah! You take the archer form, not having to worry so much about bringing people back from the brink of death, and firing the first shot in a little bit. It goes wide. You don't have a ton of practice using the archer form.
No.
Anything else?
Dang it. I'm gonna yell out to Valis, get over here if you can.
Okay. You yell that out into the space that is suddenly filled with light. That is your turn, Minka. Rez,
forgot to-
carried in heavy wings. What is he doing?
Actually,
Oh, he's doing the help action.
Huh?
He's doing the help action?
Yeah, so he's gonna come over here and. Oh, can he even get in here to. He's tiny.
He's tiny, so as long as he's ending, because the shadow is in the space with Billy, and that thing does not take up space. So yeah,
Okay,
Rez can
so
end
yeah,
up there.
he goes around behind, and presumably he's like, "I got you, Billy," or I can't do the rest voice.
Yeah, that's what you want. So Billy, suddenly on your left shoulder, there's a woof, and you just hear, "Oh my bad," and then woof, 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 you hear these big wings, and then suddenly on the other side, you just hear, "Hey Billy, you got this," and you see the shadow kind of like turn. It's like a completely featureless silhouette, but you feel almost like it just kind of turns, looking back towards Rez. Rez is taking the help action. Ori, what would you like to do? Then the ghosts or the ghosts? I mean,
They're now ghosts.
I was like, are they ghosts?
They are see-through tapestries.
Minka said they were ghosts. So I
Ori,
think they're
what would
ghosts.
you like to do?
I'm gonna
Dallas.
bonus action disengage.
Okay.
I'm gonna move
Shadows,
back
ghosts. What's the difference,
to
really?
here, and I don't I've got my. I guess I'm just gonna shoot a regular ass arrow at the one that I disengaged from.
Yeah, for the third time in this campaign, make a regular ass attack.
You know, at least
I love
pull
this.
one
We're
from the quiver and not from your ass.
We're doing a really good job of
I don't
spreading
know.
out
He
the
already said
damage.
he was
It's
making
already
a
a
regular
regular
ass
ass
attack.
one.
That's what the quiver is.
You know, Ori, I always did say you ought to stick up your ass. There it is.
Got him.
It's actually multiple in a quiver.
The quiver actually
Stronger
hurts
when you
15
put them
damage.
all together.
What the fuck am I doing? I'm making an attack out
Yeah,
of my butthole, right? That's a 16.
The 16 does hit.
Oh, nice.
It's close. In this like space, the only thing that allows you to really see this featureless shadow is the bright light that Minka is casting out.
And it's
I'm extra shiny today.
weak ass attack. Weak ass normal attack for 10, which is probably half because it's just regular ass piercing.
This is against which one?
This one.
Then yes, that is halved to 5.
regular ass.
Anything else, Ori?
That's it for me. I'm like, oh shit.
Okay. As your shadow just looms up behind you, you like kick backwards with your foot. You roll on the ground, come up on your feet, already pulling the arrow from your quiver, not your ass, and you pull back on the bow and fire before your momentum even
Holding on to the
stops.
quick draw one.
You go straight through. It doesn't seem to do a ton of damage, and the arrow just clatters noisily down the hall. But that is your turn, Ori.
I gotta go pick that up.
You leave the shadow.
waste not, want not.
Can you get that? Do we have a quick timeout? Anything else? No. Okay, cool. So these shadows. Let me see here. So Ori,
I'm about to get beefed on by a bunch of shadows.
You stood in excellent get beefing range.
Yeah, I figured that would be a good spot to get beefed on.
Ah, dang it! I knew that was a risk.
So these shadows just rush forwards and almost completely quiet. They just disappear. They sink into the ground, and you just see this ribbon of darkness, and then just reemerge as this huge shadow completely vertically up. Ori, suddenly you are just surrounded by darkness. It is just like these dark walls fold in on you, and you are going to be taking 3 attacks.
Oh, okay. That's actually possibly worse, because if it's multi-attack, then it's like smaller attacks, but more of them.
Ori does a.
Or is
This is not great. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Okay. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Does a 17 hit?
That meets a pizza.
All right. So
Pizza.
as these
feel like
all
we need to
rise up,
shred these
one reaches towards you to grab onto you, and you can duck underneath, and then another one reaches down, and you're able to like scoot back. But then a third one is able to finally grab you, and you are going to be taking
dodge.
8 points of necrotic damage, and your strength score is reduced by 2.
Halved.
No.
Does that get halved? Just the damage?
No, because that's not damage.
But it was 8 necrotic, did you say?
Yes.
Sorry.
He said 8,
6,
yeah.
7, 8,
Alright,
8,
so
yes.
4
So
necrotic.
4 necrotic damage,
Strength down by 2.
strength down by 2.
Ooh-dee-doo.
So he grabs onto you, and as it does, it's like your back snaps up straight. You can't control it. All of the goosebumps rise on your body, and you feel the warmth just rip from the inside of you. It's like your blood slows down, your heart beats a little bit slower. But that is their onslaught against you, relatively ineffective. Billy, you're going to be taking 1 attack as this reaches out. It's only going to be a 14.
That was my nickname in high school.
Is it a hit? Oh, unfortunate. So, Billy, you are taking
Like when
9 points of necrotic damage, and your strength score
No.
is reduced by 1.
Okay, that's awful for Billy.
It reaches forwards, and you feel the fingertips just barely brush against and enter into your chest, and you feel your heart just slow for just a moment before you pull back out of its range. But that is there's one left. Alina. As you go, sorry, and you back away, you blink, and then it's just right in front of you, already there. And it is going to roll a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. That is going to be only 5 points of necrotic damage, but your strength score goes down by 2. These creatures just surge forwards, and in the silence, they make no noise. They just rush forwards, and you all just hear your compatriots gasp and recoil. But that is their turn. That brings us finally to Valis at the very, very bottom.
Alright.
What would you like to do?
Been observing this party's fighting style while waiting at the end of the initiative. So I'm gonna say to the party, focus your fire on one so we can take him out one at a time. And then I'm gonna walk over here and smack that one twice with my sword.
Okay. So Valis invented new military tactics. On the fly. Have we thought about just fighting one? What? Yeah. Go ahead, make your attack roll.
Not all of us are well versed in strategy.
Right. Some of us were just happened to be there where one was and now doesn't want to leave because one might hit.
I
This
don't
is
really have
a
say in what's going on.
This is a 13. That feels low, but I think it's because my strength is lowered.
That would make sense, yeah. So if it's a 13, that is still a hit.
Nice.
Just barely, but that is a hit. You pull the sword up as you swing.
Advantage because flank.
I'm threatening.
Flankies.
That's
Where's
flanking.
Valis? Oh, that's the
yeah.
shadow.
He
Yeah,
moved up to the other
absolutely.
side.
I'm threatening.
Yeah.
Well, good. That was a 2 on the die on the second roll, so.
Still hits.
Gotta check. You gotta
And actually, Alina,
it.
Alina, I apologize. This should have been a disadvantage. Ooh, actually, really good. It was at disadvantage. That's a natural 20. So,
That's only 6. Slashing.
oh, okay, gotcha. Regular slashing.
Regular slashing.
That goes down to just 3. Doesn't seem to quite do the amount of damage you want.
Regular ass.
Regular ass slashing.
You slash across with your sword, but the sword feels heavier. It's like it's just made out of more material, and you can't quite do the momentum that you want.
I'll do it again.
Okay, yeah, make your
I'll
next.
attack again at advantage. Let's see. 18 to
I'm on
hit.
some shit tonight.
It's so unfair.
Oh my god, these dice are terrible. 5 slashing.
Okay, reduced to 2. So you cut through, and it just really counts. And it's like the shadow just splits and comes back together. You can't even tell if you're really doing damage, but anything else, Valis?
No.
Okay. You stop with this shadow just penned in by you, Alina, and Minka. You can see this ruined ballista up at the top of the steps. No sign of Cheshire, but that is your turn. That brings us to the top of the initiative order. Billy, followed by Alina.
Slashy slash.
Yeah, make your attack rolls.
You have initiative. I mean,
Advantage.
yeah, thank you.
Well,
I mean, you
thank
have
goodness
initiative
for that,
also.
because the first one just hit. This one definitely hits at 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I have a bear trap.
That'll be good for these incorporeal.
Billy's
These aren't bears.
Billy realizes that maybe she should stop holding back a little bit and just tap into that reserve. And there's going to be a wrathful smite.
Yeah, there you go.
We smite now.
We
Get
smite.
Oh, we smiting.
I remember the good old days when I
And
had
an
smite.
additional 1d6. So a wisdom saving throw.
You might get
It's cocked.
Oh yeah, that
15.
poison too.
That makes it. But it's 7 points of magical magical piercing, and 2 points of psychic damage.
I feel like Ori's in the wrong campaign.
You slash across, and as you do, there is a pulse of magical energy, and you can see it disturbs the middle part of the shadow in such a way that it has trouble stitching itself back together, but eventually it does. It does a good amount of damage to it. Anything else?
That's all for Billy right now.
Still very much in your space is this. And you could just hear, "Oh, good job, Billy!" from the other side, although you cannot see Rez.
reaction cheerlead.
There you go, yeah. That is your turn, Alina. What would you like to do? Minka is on deck.
All right. So I think my back is up against like a closed door, right?
Yeah.
Like a cell door. All right. Well, that's upsetting. So I'm going to Eldritch Blast at point blank range.
There you go. Make your attack rolls.
So this is disadvantage. 11.
11 is a miss, unfortunately.
And for the second one, 16.
16 does hit.
And that's gonna be woo! Max damage. So 15 points of force damage plus 3 of bludgeoning.
Okay, so you fire this Eldritch Blast at point blank range. The first one misses just a little bit off to the side. The second one dead in the center, and it ripples through this material. You can see it stretches and it almost begins to flicker, and for a second it disappears before just reappearing right back in that space. But it's flickering badly, and you would imagine quite hurt.
Oh man. All right. And then let's see. Move. I'm gonna go help Ori, but attack of opportunity.
No, focus on the one guy. It's a good strategy.
You're gonna die, maybe. I don't know. There's so many of them.
Just heal me if I go down a bunch.
Okay, I can't
That's
heal.
a good strategy.
I don't know why you think I can
If it's
heal.
not broke, don't fix it.
We're tanking over here. Don't worry about us.
All right, and then
I definitely need Ori.
so I guess she considers going to help Ori, and then is like, nah. And she's gonna stay put, and then tell Rez, keep helping Billy, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, buddy. You're doing awesome.
Okay.
Helping him.
That is your turn, Elena.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Minka, what would you like to do? That Rez is going to keep doing what he's doing.
Okay, so
Boy.
Minko would like to get within touch range of Valis.
Okay.
So I believe I could just kind of shimmy around.
Yeah.
Oh, high five.
And then I'm going to reach out and grab Valis's shoulder and just be like, give me your sword. And I'm going to cast elemental weapon on the sword. So from what Minko remembers the last time we did the shadows, fire was fine. Fire was,
remember?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
That seemed like an appropriate thing. I'll probably like a cast light. It's good fire. So she puts well, you get a +1 bonus attack rolls, and it deals 1 extra d4 of fire damage.
Ooh, thank you.
You see Minka
And now it's a
with
magical
his
weapon.
blue hand grab the blade of your sword, and there is, like, you do see a drop of Minka's blood, like, runs down the line of the blade before that drop just becomes fire up the side.
Nice.
And just with blue flame, this thing just ignites, and you have a flaming sword.
Fire
Anything
does
else,
need air
Mika?
to start.
I am then going to.
And blue fire, stronger winds, hotter temperature.
Step. I'm gonna step back to the side, so we're doing the nope, right behind him. Yep, there we go. So it's doing the fucking tactics thing.
Okay, yeah.
And then she's gonna be like, "I'm so sorry, Alina," and she's gonna shoot an arrow and hope that she doesn't.
Make your attack roll. Don't roll a 1 or you're shooting a lead.
4.
Okay.
That's a grand total of
Did you roll with advantage?
no, because it's disadvantage because it's a ranged attack.
Oh, so it's
a
flat. Yeah.
12.
12 at point blank range, Alina, you can't miss. And so you pull up for Eldritch Blast, and as you're about to fire, you see Minka on the other side of the shadow just go, sorry, and she closes her eyes. So the first beam of your Eldritch Blast is you like ducking out of the way. It goes wide as you have to duck under Minka's bolt, which goes right through the space that you used to
Have you not learned your lesson by now?
on the ground. You fire the second bolt, and that's what actually hits this shadow. But yeah, Minka is just straight shooting right at you.
We do the no look shots.
So,
Tripping
Minka,
the shadow in.
there you go. That is Minka's turn. That brings us to Rez. Rez just keeps at the exact same kind of positioning.
Yeah.
He's just gonna keep yelling to you, Billy. You got this, Billy. One more time. Everybody else did it once, but you can do it in 3. That is Rez. That brings us to Ori. Ori, you are surrounded by shadows.
All the shit.
Can I use my action to do a swing with my flask to try and get, like a nice swipe around and then drop my lantern?
Yes. Now, are you proficient in improvised weapons?
Fuck no.
So this is the risk that you run. Yes,
Yeah.
you absolutely can try this. You could
nice.
potentially douse both yourself, Billy, and with a particularly bad roll, even Valis, in this oil.
If you catch me in this,
Because you're gonna just try to do.
I'm holding a flaming sword.
Yeah.
Shit like that when you.
I could also at any moment also be holding a flaming sword.
Just for what it's worth, in this brief moment, you can't really tell where Billy or Valis is. But if
I'm
you
just
just do
in
it.
darkness, right?
No, there's
No,
a
there's
lot of
bright
light from
daylight.
Minka.
But
what are you doing?
I'm surrounded.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and douse these 3 spaces.
Doing it.
Okay. So we're going to call this a range weapon attack that you do not have proficiency for.
Can I use my steady aim since it's a ranged weapon attack?
It's not a ranged weapon, but I'm doing this versus
Okay.
not allowing you doing it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like triple disadvantage.
Is it triple disadvantage?
I mean, it would technically be several different disadvantages, but it's not fourth edition,
Yeah.
so it doesn't
All
matter.
right, so it's just regular ass
Yeah.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Roll
Regular
negative
ass.
5 dice.
Come on, big nummies. Oh, that is real tough.
Did
Who
you
is not impressed?
roll,
it?
did you light yourself on fire?
Light us all on fire.
It was a one. Phenomenal. So Ori, you take this flask of oil and you go back in your mind. You remember somebody in this moment where you guys were all in this place. You remember Mika saying muttering off on the side to herself, "Oh, Ori seems to be able to do stuff with oil." And you're just like, I can fucking do it. People believe in me. You take out your flask of oil, and as you pop it up, oil runs down the sides onto your fingers. And as you turn, you just whip this oil canister, and it hits.
I'm still
yeah.
holding it.
You were.
No, you're not.
It's a natural one.
Talk your way out of this, I think.
Project this thing of oil straight down into the middle of the floor, and it just splatters. So it's gonna splatter.
Having done that, can I not drop my lantern as the
You're not
free
dropping your
action?
lantern.
Right, to ignite it. I mean.
So
I'm worried
Billy,
about the
Valis,
location.
and Ori are all getting hit. And
Oh,
I
no.
believe
It
Valis-
Are these three getting hit?
Yes, they're also getting hit.
Okay,
You
so
just got a flaming
You know I'm
sword.
holding a flaming sword.
Yes.
Never mind.
I actually
Oh,
don't because
no.
I've been in darkness.
Why
surrounded
is it
by
always
these
somehow
shadows.
Minka's fault?
Mika has cast daylight.
I am facing away from the daylight.
And just right into darkness. For Ori's benefit, Ori is just surrounded by a wall of darkness right now because
I
these
see.
three shadows penning him in. So, I will say, Valis, can you make a dexterity saving throw? Billy, you get splashed with this stuff. You are in a 5x5 square space with no way to move to the side. However, you are not currently on fire, and so not quite as bad for you. Valis, what
Does
was-
it smell like oil?
Oh yeah, instantly.
Okay.
Oil and fire.
19.
19. So you dive to the side, and as you do, with the 19, you not only move to the side, but you have the presence of mind to pull your body so that you cover the sword and not just pull the sword into the path of the oil, where you would have just ignited Billy and been fine yourself.
For my mistakes.
You step off to the side, and so Billy, you are doused in oil, but you are not on fire.
Thank God. It's always me.
So, Ori, after dousing all of your party in oil, what would you like to do? Anything else?
Half.
I always thought Billy was really slick.
Good lord.
All right, so now that we're all doused,
serious.
Yeah.
oh, sorry. Bonus action: disengage and run this way to try
yes.
and
Away from the party.
lure them. Well,
So you can't get into that.
oh, because it's locked.
right out.
All right, so yeah, I'll be right there.
There you go.
Listen, we're, as you
Right
discovered,
there.
great at tactics.
So then, did this area get splashed, or am I out of the oil?
You are out of the oil spill,
But I'm still doused in oil.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
You are the oil spill. So that is your turn, Ori. You douse yourself and several others in oil. As you turn and look, I mean, these beings are semi-incorporeal, and so you aren't really sure as to how effective that was. You do see little elements of that oil hanging in the air, and so at least partially effective. That is your turn, Ori. That brings us to the shadows. So,
We need.
We don't need to.
Ori bonus action disengages, and then instantly, yeah.
Oh,
Into
buddy.
the corner.
Buddy. No!
Tried to keep line of sight.
So, Ori, you disengage, you roll backwards, you spring up to your feet, and on either side of you, these two shadows appear. They're going to each take an attack. That is going to be a 21 and an 18.
They both hit.
I'm going to. Are they with. No, wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Fuck.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge.
You are 5 too far.
The first, I guess. Do I have to do the first?
No.
Oh. Let me do the second one.
Okay. The first one is 11 points of necrotic damage. The second one is 12 points of necrotic damage.
Okay,
And so you picked the right one.
But like,
And Ori. From the first one, your strength score is reduced by 2.
yeah.
From the second one, your strength score is also reduced by 2.
Please stay alive over there.
And so one grabs onto you, and it's like the shadow becomes a ribbon that wraps around you again and again and
From one
again.
of the cells, you hear. I can't remember what
This
my
other
voice
one
sounds like.
wraps around you. You can feel the shadow going around your throat. It is pulling the oxygen out of your body, but even more than that, it's pulling out the spirit. But you survive for this round. Billy, you take 2 attacks as well. They are flanking you, and so they're just rolling flat against you. That is going to be a 7 to hit
Nope.
and a 21.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Believe it or not.
That is going. I got basically the extremes of the spectrum there. That is going to be 8 points of necrotic damage, and your strength score is reduced by 2.
Okay.
And then finally, there is one that is squaring off against you, Alina. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Okay. So it
Quite.
like lunges towards you, but Valis is striking at it from the side. Minka, the light that Minka is casting seems to be bothering it and affecting it in a way that is hampering its ability to strike, almost certainly. But that is the Shadow's turn. That brings us to Valis.
Am I covered in oil?
You are covered in oil. Oh no, sorry, no. You dodged the oil.
I dodged.
So you are not covered in it. It is at your feet, and you can see in this puddle it leads up and covers Billy. It covers Ori, but you are not covered in oil.
Okay.
But you have a flaming sword. The other
If I-
piece of the puzzle.
This is the
Maybe Ori
rough
has been
area.
the big
just
bad
covered in
all
oil.
along.
If I'm like,
Minko is just a red herring.
if I'm there, do I have advantage to the flanking?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sweet. I'll attack this thing with my flaming sword.
Make your attack roll.
Oh, advantage. So I roll the other dice as well. So that will be. Oh, and I get a +1. Yeah. 19 a hit.
Yep.
All right. And that's gonna be 8 slashing damage and 1 fire damage.
Okay. And is that magical slashing damage now?
No, wait. Is
It's
it?
because it's an enchanted weapon.
Surely.
It becomes a magic weapon.
So that is
yeah.
the full 8 points of
Well, that's
damage.
the best part.
Interestingly, the fire only does half damage, but the magical weapon's certainly effective, and you cleave the shadow's head off, and it doesn't tumble or anything. The whole thing just becomes nothing. But that thing's gone.
No.
Good work, Valis. Anything else?
Oh. I look at Mika, I was like, nice. I'm gonna walk over here now. Do I think that I can, if I walk onto over here, am I gonna like slip and fall?
You have that potential. It's oil. It behaves the way that oil behaves.
Oh, I'll stand right here.
Oh, just like oil in our world.
Yeah.
And,
You need
alright.
this little vinegar.
Billy's been attacking this one, right?
Yeah.
But it's in the same space as Billy.
Correct.
So, I don't think I can attack this ghost without attacking Billy, right?
I mean, it depends on how confident you are in your dice rolling skills, really. Which one do you want to attack?
I felt really
one here.
confident
Okay, yeah, make your
before I
attack
doused
roll.
us all in
The one that's
oil.
not sharing a space.
You're like, I'm gonna hit this one that's sharing a space with Billy. You look over and you hear Minka just go, sorry, and shoot at Alina, and you're like, no, I'm gonna do this one.
I am not a role model.
Alright, so this is attack with advantage because I am flanking this as
Flanking, yep.
well. And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Alright. And this one's gonna be 12 magical slashing damage and 1 fire damage. And this one's doused, right?
As far as you can kind of tell, yeah, it's doused. Nothing happens in terms of striking it with the fire. It doesn't seem to hold enough oil for that to really happen. It sparks as you hit it, certainly.
Okay.
Fire also it's resistant to fire, and so
Okay.
in terms of like how effective that would be in the first
Right.
place, probably not terribly. Very effective against other people like you and Ori.
Ah.
Now, anything else, Valis?
No. Well, I see over there Ori is probably looking really tired, and I'll yell, "Get out of there, Ori!"
For the second time, Ori. Really trying. Ori's like, I got this. That is your turn. Valis, that brings us to the top of the round. Billy, what would you like to do? Followed by Alina.
Push.
Make your attack roll. You finally have a little bit of assistance from behind you. Yes.
In this shadow centipede of
Yeah.
flanking that we have going on here,
Yes.
is my advantage from the help action canceled out?
Yes, it would be. And actually, very technically,
Wait.
you'd just be rolling
Wait.
flat. Is what you're asking, right?
Being
Yeah.
flanked doesn't give you disadvantage, does it?
No, you should be good to get your advantage.
I'm
But you're
asking.
talking
I'm not
about-
asking about disadvantage. I'm asking if my advantage is gone.
No.
It shouldn't.
Why would it be done?
God.
Who are you attacking? The one that's in your space or this one behind?
The one that's in my space.
The one that's in your space? Okay.
Hey.
13.
13 just hits.
Yes.
You did it.
Wait, did you only roll one dice? Don't you have advantage?
That was with advantage.
You didn't see the other one.
The other one was real bad. 11 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay, and this is the one that you've been fighting from the very beginning.
Si, senor.
With the magical piercing damage, as you drive this blade right through it, it's like the shadows just burst and disappear into nothing. And that one is
And-
gone as well.
Bonus action healing word on myself.
There you go. Bonus action healing word. You feel this healing go into right as from like right behind, almost uncomfortably close in your ear. You feel this flap of like these heavy wings. And you hear, I always believed in you, Billy. I knew you could do it. And Rez is right there helping you.
Yeah.
That is your turn, Billy?
Yes.
Alrighty. As you heal yourself, Alina, what would you like to do? Minka, you're on deck.
One second. It's so far away. All right. I'm gonna follow Valis's lead and be like, Ori, get out of there! And then Eldritch Blast the one that Billy is next to.
Ori, 3 of 6 people so far have said it. Now you're starting to think, I don't know, maybe
Maybe moving just 10 feet away wasn't enough. I don't know.
It's a small space. I don't want to get up in your space when I'm all oily.
Join us in our space.
All right.
We're all oily. I don't
Don't
know.
worry, we're all oily right now.
A 26 and a 28.
Yes.
But you're the match.
Yeah.
And this is which one? This is the one that's behind Billy?
This one here,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, we've got 21 points of force damage and 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
I mean, 21 points of force damage is brutal. And so as you go over, the one that Valis just swung towards,
This one?
yeah, you can see there is just this burst.
No, I stayed.
Oh.
Not up
As
here.
Valis like swings through it, you can see the blue flame strikes and the tiny bits of oil that are suspended within become these blue sparks. And with that as a backdrop, you fire this Eldritch Blast and it explodes, like turning in on itself before into nothing.
Incredible.
Anything else, Selena?
Yes, I'm going to tell Rez, go help Ori. Go help him because he can't help himself.
Free action, do you hear it? Do I have to?
Yes, please, just do me a favor. Just do me a favor. Remember, he's got the chocolate.
Yeah, he does. You hear him like begin to move.
And then for my move action, I'm gonna go 1, 2, just over that away.
Okay. You make your way across, getting onto the other side of where Valis is. That is your turn. That brings us to Minka. Minka, what would you like to do?
So, assessing the proximity of oil to fire. So far, it looks like Valis has not lit anyone on fire
So far.
so far.
Incomprehensibly, yeah.
Okay, so Minka's gonna move. To if I go one step in front of Alina, is that gonna be in the oil?
If you go where?
About like 1 square in front of Alina?
No, the oil is that like space station
Just
looking thing.
just that. Okay, so I'll go 2 steps
and
in front.
Valis and Ori.
15, 20, 20. Yeah, 2 steps in front of you, Alina, to be right there. Yep. And then I'm going to shoot the shadow that is in front of Ori
Okay.
with a hopefully radiant arrow. Well, the arrow is definitely radiant. Hopefully, I'll shoot the shadow. Oh, thank Christ. That's like a 25.
You successfully hit the shadow, or depending on your perspective, you miss Ori.
So,
¿Por qué no los dos?
Okay, so that is a 1d4, 1d8, right? Yes.
that is 7 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then feeling a
For
little.
what it's worth, that seems like it does a little bit more damage than you would imagine it would. And that was 7.
Yep.
So that is 14 points of radiant damage, and you watch as that just explodes, and it's like the shadow ignites, burning like flash paper until there is nothing left.
All right, and then feeling encouraged, she's gonna target the one behind them.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh wait, actually it's like
And
a
actually, wait, that's radiant.
was
that's
radiant
right?
fire.
Never mind. You're fine anyways.
25.
Not real fire.
All right.
Not real fire.
It's just so bright.
It's real
Yeah.
fake fire.
Yeah.
Anything else, Minka?
Yes. Using my action, I'm not gonna cast guiding bolt on the one behind him.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the deadly spell.
Guiding bolt in the direction of an ally. Classic Minka Big Bad.
And it's 17.
17 hits.
All right.
Hey.
So that is, I think, 3 number points. 4d6 now. That's 2.
Oh, this is the campaign where you guys take rests.
Yeah. 10.
Did they not take a lot of rest in the last
15.
campaign?
In the last campaign, it's just been a while since the last one.
15
15.
radiant damage.
That is 30 points of radiant damage, and with 30 points, Minka, tell us how it happens. That's a tremendous.
So carefully sidestepping the oil and seeing that Ori is like super
like
going to
the
die.
camera.
I'm like the little shrivel.
So she basically goes, I'm not prepared for this, and does like a 1-2 shot where it's like a quick succession trying to save Ori's ass.
And so
they just
Ori, like in
explode
front
light.
of you, one of them just burns up like flash paper, and the one on the other side explodes into radiant light. And for you, you have to blink as it's like you just stared into fireworks, but you are all out of initiative as you look around frantically. There are no further shadows. Just a very weakened Ori. And because it is 8:15 or 8:10, this is where we're going to step away for a quick break. So thank you for sticking with us so far for Adventures in Alberon Courts to Everest. We will be right back in 10 minutes. See you then. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us
Would
to
you
the
mind
break.
tipping it a little bit and pulling it back if you can?
We tried to do a camera fix and it.
Oh, Matt.
Sorry for anyone who's getting a little
Motion sick.
Here, we'll make it even better. Hardcore parkour. There you go. It does make it easier to frame using this, though.
Oh, and the camera's in the shot now.
That's okay.
Yeah, the camera's always going to be in the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We will next week be having our expanded field of view. No,
So tougher.
Sorry, Talon, but hey, you know what? You're on the boat experience, and that's nice.
Yeah.
Howdy, Gunner. Welcome. Good to see you.
It's like as soon as I let go, too, it's just a whack.
Will that work for now?
You tilted a little bit.
It's a little like voyeuristic.
I'll just.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Leave.
That's gonna have
Great.
to be good enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be fine. All right. So for the time being, that's got to be fine.
And the chat just goes, Matthew.
Alright. I didn't want to do that.
So thank you for sticking with us to the break. If you did, picking right back up where we left off, you have all defeated these shadow creatures within the holding area that you're within. And as you guys are all sinking out of initiative in this dark space, Billy, right in front of you, there is this glowing blue sphere. And what would you all like to do?
Billy is going to look for like a piece of detritus
Okay.
that's on the ground, and pick it up, and she's going to like try and like poke the sphere.
Okay. You go ahead.
Rez is gonna get out of her way. Rez is gonna come back over here.
Okay. No
Don't kill
problem.
Rez.
So you hear, just like as you go to do that, you go, hey, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. And you just hear Rez like flap out into the hall.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good. From as you take this little piece of like stone, you poke the sphere, and just disappears. Off in the distance, I would say Valis and Alina, the two of you just barely hear the door's open from Cheshire, who is like up and around.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nicely done, Billy.
Yeah.
I don't really
just
know what I
like-
did.
Face first on the ground. like-
Who heard Cheshire?
You and Valis.
Oh, I go, she said the door's open. You did it. Good job. High five. She posted yet again for a high five.
I'm gonna.
In your
She's
mind,
gonna kind of like,
No.
in your mind, you just hear, Alina, you're really setting yourself up for rejection. You gotta wait until she's ready.
Minka's gonna trot
Oh.
over to Ori and try to assess the amount of damage that's happened to him.
You walk over, Ori face down on the ground, covered in oil. Not looking the best.
Okay.
What is your strength score right now?
4.
There you go.
And you also took quite a bit of damage, yeah.
I'm rocking in at 15 good points.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so that's gonna be. That's gonna get out of the way. Almost all max. 11.
So, with the starlight form behind you, it's like the radiant light seeps into the healing that you give to Ori. And Ori, you are flooded with healing, but you still don't feel that much better. You still feel exceptionally.
Alina goes, that's it. We need to rest. I know that it's risky, but at this point, I'm not going through that door to whatever's on the other side without us being at full strength.
Yeah, I don't think we're in any
already
condition
just
to go further.
Sleep face down.
Okay, but maybe not in the room with the oil spill. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not resting here. I will.
I'm not resting in this sad jail.
I'm gonna.
Does it still feel like
Is it still
oppressively
sad?
sad?
Not in this room anymore.
Oh.
Why rolling?
Because we asked.
I'm gonna walk up to Minka and I'm gonna ask to see her hand. And I'm gonna say, that was a really impressive spell. Let me at least stop the bleeding. And you heal 1 hit point and the bleeding stops.
Yay! Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well,
Okay. Where are we gonna rest? let's figure it out and go before we lose any more time.
Not the corpse room?
Not the corpse
How
room.
about the Nexus
that
room? The
sounds
one with
good.
the Nexus. Like the secret room that had all the doors?
Isn't it like a 5x5?
Maybe somewhere
No, not
a
that
little
one.
more defensible.
What about, like,
with not
the-
multiple doors?
What about
That's
the mess hall, the table room, with all
What?
the stone tables that we can hide under?
Billy, I think you mentioned there were traps around there. I forget where they are. Were they in the mess room or the kitchen?
It was in the kitchen.
Was in the kitchen? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
let's go to the mess hall.
Okay.
And
Minka's gonna try to pick up Ori.
Alina's like, if we don't rest right the F now, we are all gonna die. And she goes over to Ori and does the thing with the arm over the shoulder, like, let's go.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go on the other side.
I'm gonna go get Belgrim because he's been waiting for us for the okay for us to come. So
Okay.
does,
Has it?
and invite him to rest with us.
Sure.
So
Another set of eyes can't hurt,
Yeah.
Okay.
especially since Ori's not doing so good.
We're going. I'm gonna go talk to Belgium.
No, you're coming to the mess hall. He'll catch up.
All right, just go get some food then.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Food. Yep.
I have berries. We're just gonna Minka's gonna start trying to drag Ori with Alina on the other side. Just like, yeah, let's go.
Okay. Just plodding along. So the two of you support under Ori's forearm and you just guide him through, no problem.
And I'm going to suggest that perhaps there's a rustling at the pouch, and the next time you look, there's going to be one fewer piece of chocolate there. I don't know, maybe I'll
whole
just throw it out
piece?
there.
Oh my God!
Are you telepathically suggesting that?
No, I'm just wanting to run res for a second.
I mean, you know, if you...
I will say a whole piece is a lot to give out on the current.
Give us a strong word for what's happening
Yeah.
here.
Okay, forget it.
Steal,
Like, stop that.
some
There we
might
go.
say.
I fixed it. I fixed the problem
No
that I
problem,
created.
no problem.
Look, guys, we did it.
So, at the moment, who is going off to get the Duragar?
Someone want to come with me in case
Gotcha.
you can stay?
No.
Here, have a berry.
I've got my cat paws and I am redirecting.
Yeah, so Alina, if Valis waits until after Alina and I get him into the mess room, then Minka will go with you because she has the light. Otherwise, I guess someone else can volunteer. But if you're willing to wait a minute, I can come with you.
Sure. So I'll help follow them, help everyone get situated in the mess hall.
So you'll go to the mess hall where Cheshire is already setting up a little like campsite. She rolled a very good stealth check to get around you guys.
That's what the roll is.
Rolled a natural 19. So yeah, I don't even know what the modifier is, but I know that that's pretty high.
Yeah.
So she just kind of had gotten up there, and you can see she's making a little bed. But yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Billy gets cozy and starts mopping up all the oil.
Okay, no problem.
Minka's gonna take out the remaining 7 good berries and kind of put them next to on like a little table and just be like, here you go, and then go off with Valis.
Wait, all 7?
I'll grab a couple.
Really, yeah, they only last for 24 hours, so if you don't eat them today, they're gonna be gone.
You can only have one each, though, right?
No,
You can eat more.
Yeah.
It just heals 1 HP
they
per
don't fill
berry.
you for the day past the first one, so you're not gonna like explode.
Like a violet Beauregard.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So no problem.
Are we short resting or are we
Before that
sleeping?
happens, I
Well,
do want to talk
yeah.
to Belgrim as we walk back towards the party.
Okay, so 1 second. What are all of you doing back here? Minka and Valis make their way off back to the entryway.
If anyone looks like they're about to conk out, Billy's just gonna keep watch. Stay alert for more
Alina will keep
shadows.
watch with Billy. This feels good. I like this.
See, it took 4 hours and I'll be right as right.
Ori's already asleep.
Yeah, basically.
Transin.
Not you.
And so,
Oh.
yeah, this is happening.
Okay. So you guys,
Like it or not.
you guys begin to keep watch as Ori and Cheshire are the ones taking the rest.
Yeah.
Valis and Minka, the two of you make your way back. Which way are you taking back?
the safest way.
Yeah. So I believe from where we are, our choices are to go back through the trapped hallway, or we can go around. Did we unlock the way all the way around to the name hall? I don't think we did.
You did not, no. But from where you are in the mess hall, you can see there are the doors that you guys came in from that main hallway. But then there's another set of barred doors on the northern face. And this, though you did not proceed down this way initially, or you have actually, you see portraits, many portraits hanging on a wall. And so that leads into that little Z-shaped corridor.
Okay, so if we go back this way, that's the way that had the swinging axes. But if, oh, I'm so sorry. She actually like bumps into Lena over here. But if we go through the secret passages and we have them tell us which key was the right one, we might be able to go around the other way. Because like clearly the guards can go around without getting axed all the time. So there must be a way around.
Yeah. Has your character been drawing the map, or is that just
Minka has relatively high survival, so I'm just imagining that she has like a pretty good mental picture of.
I'm pretty certain that like that hallway that wants to kill us, there's like a secret passage right next to it, and I think we just couldn't find it. Do you think you can find the other end from where we are now? That seems to be the quickest and safest way, but I don't.
Minka's gonna think and see if, I'm guessing, could Minka make like a survival check to see if she could like mentally picture?
Yeah. If only you had somebody who could like perfectly recreate their environment in their mind.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
It would.
It's a 10.
Or you dream about yourself walking through these halls almost like the Doom screensaver. But it's like a perfect recreation of the halls. It's, absolutely perfect. Mika, what was your roll? Sorry.
10.
With a 10, I mean, you look and it's hard to tell. Like in that general direction, yes. You would, hard to tell.
Let's just go back the way we came, because it probably is the safest.
Yeah.
Just watch out for that.
Are you good at traps?
Axe. No.
Oh, me neither.
But I think that trap, if I recall, it was a string trap. So I think it would need to be reset.
Hopefully. So, if we both look really hard, and then if we get hit by one, I do have some healing spells left.
Okay.
So I think we'll be okay.
Your way of dealing with traps is just eat them.
That's
force. Have you seen our way of dealing with locked doors?
So you make your way back. Each of you make an intelligence check. And this is for you to be like, do I remember where this trap was?
I think it's flat for me. No, it's a +1. 13.
Sure.
Wait, that's a save. 8.
No idea. Minka, you just rolled high enough where as you get into this hallway and you can see an area where it turns around 90 degrees. You remember every time these traps went off, typically it was like around a corner. And so you want to be especially careful here. You point this out to Valis if you want.
Yeah. Okay, so corners are where they hide things. Keep your eyes out.
Okay. Each of you make a investigation check, and this determines whether or not you can make it without detecting any traps as a kind of expedient way of doing it.
It's the face as she stares off. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
9.
Retire that die. That one hasn't been treating right today.
It's been doing okay.
Each of you make a dexterity saving throw. Yes. You walk your way back.
Do you have that aura?
Yes, +2.
And you're like, all right, right around the corner, let's make sure that we don't set off any traps. This is where it's dangerous. So
For a second, I watched Alana roll a d12, and my brain was like, "Oh, that's weird. Usually, you don't use d12s to do that. She must have some special feature that I don't know about."
It's called I failed at shape recognition.
And a d12 to me, that will happen a fair amount. Yeah.
I very
9.
specifically don't.
Okay.
10. We are the best duo, Valis. We are the perfect
So
people
Minka
to go.
says, watch chat around the corners, and you take your time. You take like a whole 5 minutes to like clear the corner. You take like an edge of your cloak, and you like, and you like, and you use all the different things you can think of. And after a while, you're like, this is ridiculous. And you take a step forward, and ding, you feel a string kick right as you go through. It's not the same one that you trapped before. This seems to have been one that your entire party had walked across without stepping on. You hear the metal on stone, and you recognize this trap, but not quick enough apparently to dodge it, as you take maximum damage from this.
Oh my god.
At 20 points of slicing.
Ooh.
Slashing, sorry.
Both of us?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It could have been, yeah, it could have been 2 points. It's as if, yeah, it's basically like at the exact same moment in each of your minds, you're like, oh, we're in the safe part now. And you step on the wire at the exact same time, and it cuts each of you exactly as badly. And it goes and ticks right back up, but that line is snapped. And so at least 2 of these are no longer going to be triggered.
Okay, maybe we wait for just a minute.
And Meg is gonna cast Healing Spirit.
Okay.
So the Dryad's gonna appear between us. And we're gonna go halvesies.
So back and forth.
I
passing
imagine like
through
the
you.
dryad just comes through and it's just like,
I am. And just like stretches onto this big orb.
Just goes and sits down in between the both of them, just like.
it's like vaguely disappointed.
Where's the key ring? I didn't think to ask
10
for it.
minutes, I'm out of here.
Billy has it.
Unforged.
Ooh.
Yeah, right?
Damn.
It's almost like
You
Val's
go,
and I
hey,
are
do we
the
have any
best
skills for this? No.
duo
Oh, we'll be
to do
fine.
this.
Should we prepare for it? Nah.
Nah.
We'll just heal our way through.
Sorry. Yes. Okay. I'm like making sure I have the right numbers, so I'm not just being a dum dum. So.
As you recover from this and you finish your way down the hallway uneventfully, you do come to the swinging door, though the other side that Valis, that you had guessed your way through. You're on the other side of it now, and so you recognize you are not in immediate danger of it swinging and crushing you. But within that room, that is that space where that wall will close in. The wall directly opposite of where you are right now.
11, 10.
Okay. So you take that healing.
Okay.
For what it's worth, you can just, as you get to this bar, look off to the right, you can see the bar door that you all came down from. It's still open. And the graded ramp that goes up for where you had left this Duragar, they are not there.
Oh.
Okay. If I walk over there and just look in that room, and I'll say, I'll just shout out loud, Beldgrim. I believe that was his name.
Beldgrim, I think.
Beldgrim, yeah. You shout that out, and it echoes a little bit, and you don't hear any response.
Do you think he went back to where the other Durgar were?
Possibly. Are there any signs around?
Looking around, you can see there is a... you didn't even look in this room previously for signs. Yeah, there is one on the southern-facing wall, so to the left of where you entered in, that reads in Elvish. You read Elvish, right?
Yes.
Hall of Thieves. Sorry, Hall of Names. And then if you look back behind the one that you just came over, it is the Hall of Thieves. But aside from that, no other signage.
Any signs of Beldgrim?
Oh.
Do you like chisel?
So right now, you're in the entryway room, which is roughly 15 by 15 feet. You could go out and step into the graded ramp. You remember that is the space where there is that excavated tunnel that they had emerged from, but that was collapsed in.
Oh, I'm not there yet, right?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna go over there and
Okay.
yell,
No problem.
Beldgrim.
Minka, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow Valis because I'm like basically just like holding my staff and just kind of like trotting behind him, like looking around his armor, like what's going on? Are we good?
Okay. So the two of you make your way through. You step out into the outer part, And you turn and look, and Valis, where that tunnel had collapsed in, you see stones have been shifted aside. It's small, but an area has been cleared where a Duragar could certainly kind of wriggle through. You don't see any sign of this Duragar, but perhaps they cleared a path and are going around. Is there anything that you're doing to try to...
Yeah, I want to try to shout into the tunnel, Belgium.
Okay, make a survival check. You go over to the tunnel and you shout.
Oh no.
Well, I could have told you that.
Okay, let's see. 12.
Okay. With the 12, you go over and you just shout into this hole, and then you look into this dark space. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. Like, as if you pull away from the little bits of light that Minka is still giving off, you can see there are
Daylight's
This-
still up.
Daylight's still up?
Yeah.
Oh, so from
Daylight's
this
up for an hour.
bright beam of light that just through the hole, you can see the floor of what looks to be like natural stone, a tunnel that goes down and down and down, but you don't see Belgrim.
Okay.
Maybe try to go home.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's probably trying to find a path home while he was waiting for us, but I think we should probably go
Optimism.
back to the group. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Okay, this time for real. We have to be careful in that hallway.
Yes.
Did we hear the yelling?
Oh God, my chest!
They go back and they're down a limb.
Oh, ow! Oh,
From
like,
inside the mess hall, Belly just
that's bleeding pretty badly. I
Belly's just
know.
like,
You're not looking so good yourself.
Yeah, but you hear that. Ori doesn't hear it because Ori's passed out. The two of you make your way back into this room with those two doors that you had originally, Valis, brute forced your way through. Neither of you did anything to keep the door open in your absence, and so the door has swung shut. You find yourself in the room with, to the
Which
north.
door?
This is that door that you had guessed the key for to open.
Okay.
It is the door opposite of the wall that will crush you if you guess wrong.
Alright.
We don't have the key.
That's unfortunate. Alright.
Well,
Take my hand.
okay.
I'll send you to the other side. And
Wait, no. Wait, if we wait for 1 hour, wait, how long is a long rest? 1 hour?
A long rest?
No, a short rest.
Oh,
Sorry.
1 hour.
I think
1
I have
hour?
just enough to put us on the other side of this door.
If we wait for an hour, I can turn into something small and go on the other side of the door.
How would that help me get to the other side of the door?
Can you teleport yourself through the
Yeah,
door?
and I can also teleport you right now.
Oh, I thought you meant either or. I thought you were gonna okay. No, I'm ready.
That was so adorable.
And so Valis, you use face up.
Yeah, and I have 2 uses left, so I'll use one on Minka, send her to the side, then I'll go over.
No problem. So you just appear in this rush of springtime air, and then Valis right next to you, and you're on the other side. No problem.
That's
Can't
cool.
do that again, so I hope we didn't forget to leave any other doors open.
Well, hopefully it'll be close enough where if we yell really loud, they'll hear us.
And thinking about that, maybe that before using those resources would have been the thing to do, but no problem. You walk.
Oh, are we gonna have to are we gonna have to roll to find traps again?
No,
Okay,
you
then
can
never
retrace.
mind.
Yeah, that was mostly because you have done a bunch of stuff between the time you walked through and now. Now you can just retrace your steps back. Yeah, and also you've tripped a percentage of these that makes it unlikely for you to trip other ones. So at this point, you make your way back. You see Minka and Valis both come back slightly more healed than they had left, I think. Maybe a little less. Oh yeah, that's right. It was max damage on that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they return.
While they were gone, Alina wants to talk to Billy.
Yeah, go for it.
Do I hear this in my trance?
No.
You
hear
are
like-
dead.
You hear like
Nigh dead.
So, I've been thinking about what you said, about like thinking that we like shouldn't like hang out anymore, and I had to think about it because it kind of made sense at the time, but I've thought about it now, and no. You're my best friend, and I want to support you, and I don't like being frozen out by you, and so tell me what's going on. Please.
Don't do the eye thing. It's so gross. Stop it!
Billy!
Fine.
Come on, I miss you. I need my best friend back.
Your best friend, huh?
Yeah.
So you just happen to be walking through the woods and see someone who needs help with some bandits, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna help this person. Totally organic. Not contrived by any other being.
What? Yes. That you saw that happen.
Just happened to decide, hey, you can be part of my little Sir Nuno's fan club. No hidden agendas.
Can you just say it? Just say whatever. I don't understand what you're getting at here.
So I had a chat with Sentinel, you know, after you all just pieced out. Real trusting, by the way. And somebody controls hags. And who is powerful enough to hold hags to their word and their bargains? Because they always keep them, but they need someone to bring them all together. Who better than the Lord of the Forest and Darkness?
He said that?
I mean, it was implied. My pact's not broken.
Okay, listen. You think that what? Fooled you in what? What do you think?
I think you're being manipulated into being here.
Okay, yeah. Like, I think we all, yeah. But why does that mean you want to shut me out?
Because anything you do, you report back to Sir Nunos, who then reports to the aunties, who feeds the aunties.
So you think that Sir Nunos is, like, in charge of your aunties?
He at least holds her strings.
Well, fuck him then.
Little difficult to fuck him when he's giving me my powers.
Okay, well, like, we can find a solution together, right? You think that I care more about Billy? You think that I would want to team up with your aunties?
No, but you definitely want to team up with Sir Nunos.
And in this moment, Alina, you remember, as Billy had just invoked Sentinel's name, when you were standing in that dark space, there was a card that flipped over, and it was the Hierophant, the priestess, the religious figure, for what it's worth.
I mean, look, do we know for sure that Sir Nunos is, like, running the hags?
Well, somehow I am still feeding them. And my pact with Sir Nunos stands.
That's fair. Okay, but, like, I mean, I don't want to do that. I want to work with you. We always said we were going to hunt down your aunties.
And if Sir Nunos says not to? Or if Sir Nunos says to just push me into their loving embrace.
I wouldn't do that.
Even if he asked. Even if you got to meet him and he said do this.
If Sir Nunos is in league with your aunties, then no.
Billy looks a little bit chastened. Billy rolled a 15 on insight? Are you lying?
No.
Billy, what I will say is with a 15 for insight, Alina doesn't feel like they're lying. But you remember another girl who at one point tried very hard to help people. But she wasn't. Not really.
I believe you want to help. Just don't know if we can do that and still. Billy, like, pops up a little bit of, like, eldritch flame from a finger. It's like,
I mean, you're such a badass. Like, maybe you don't need those powers.
I'm trying not to use them. But, you know, then we almost die because we decide to poke around in some dark places, and you need to use them. You always need to fall back on something. You always need to go home.
I guess there's no really right answer. Are we good, though?
Yeah, we're good. Billy, like, points at where where she thinks Rez is, and it's probably not there at all. You're still weird.
In your mind, she went, first of all, Alina, right at Rez, and Rez just goes, whoa. But that's in your mind, so Billy doesn't hear that. At this point, Valis, you and Minka make your way back. About a little worse for wear, apparently.
What the hell happened to you guys?
Oh, we heard some shouting. You guys good?
Belgrim is not there.
It seems like he started trying to tunnel back the way the dwarves came, perhaps to open a path for them. And he might have gone farther than my voice could reach, so we decided just to come back here.
Mm-hmm.
When you say tunneled, like a tunnel?
Like moving rocks out of the way to try to get and squeeze through the path they came through that caved in.
That makes more sense.
We have been walking around for a while, so.
Yeah. Oh, if you'll excuse me. I'm gonna go sit back to back to Ori and start trancing.
Okay.
Somehow in the trance, Ori's just like,
Just two trance and
Somewhere in another dimension, Chad is like, gnarly.
Alina and Billy make a perception check as the rest of the group now begins there. And you as well, Minka? You're resting? Or is there anything you want to do before you rest?
We're doing a short rest.
How far into my rest am I?
About an hour.
4 hours.
I'm planning to long rest, which for me is 4 hours.
So I'm 3 hours away from
So up to y'all if y'all want to just end at 4 hours with a short
Well,
rest.
now it's going to be 5 hours because your rest hasn't started yet.
It hasn't been an hour
You
yet.
guys figured
it's been an hour for Ori.
He said for Ori, it's been an hour.
Oh, we were gone for an hour?
That's what he said.
Oh, wow.
It takes a long time. Presumably, you two passed out from blood loss for a while.
You had to cast the healing spirit. You had to get the healing spirit back. You took some time to not get crushed through the hull.
Healing
the
spirit
first
only
time.
exists for a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fair.
Okay.
Are we like sleeping, or are we just waiting for the elves to be not dead?
Well, we're okay with just an hour. Because remember the last time that our strength got sapped, after an hour you were fine.
Yeah, but I don't
I need a little bit more. Not everyone's got the pep and the step.
Okay, well, I guess we're in it for the long haul then.
Oh, thank God. And Minka's just gonna go to sleep.
Just
okay.
right down.
Mechanics question.
Yeah.
A while ago, I got hit with a trap. And...
We're
Sorry.
still on watch. Calm down.
Yes.
There's a married sign language happening. It brought my total HP down. Does that go away with a long rest?
It goes away with a short rest, yes.
Oh, short rest, yay.
The strength goes away with a long rest, though, right?
It goes away with a short
No,
rest.
it was
as well.
short
Oh,
rest. That's
short
what I'm
rest.
saying.
That's what we
I
discovered.
mean,
Yeah, but there are other things that need to be
There are
reset
other things.
via long rest. So
I'd be good with just a short rest.
Yes, fuck you too.
Maybe I should just take a short rest and then keep watch. Huh?
well, either way, it's shorter than the rest of us. So it's up to you.
I guess.
So what were your perception checks? Sorry, Billy and...
Oh, right. Perception.
22.
Okay.
15 for me.
With the 15, you don't notice anything, and the watch passes mostly without issue, unless Billy chooses to tell you what they notice. Billy, at first, you don't really clock this. With that roll, it's just on the cusp, and you don't really know what this means. But you notice that as Ori trances, it is a much more fitful trance, and while they begin back to back with Valis, slowly their body is turning. Every now and then it just shifts a little bit, or they turn just a little bit more. And
Ori turns?
yeah, by the end of the first 2 hours, Ori is facing the door that would bring you to those two now open adamantine doors. And Ori's just facing same direction as Valis now. They were back to back before. They're almost side by side. Still transient.
Wasn't he?
That's really creepy.
Yeah.
Do elves walk in their trance?
I've never seen Ori walk in this trance before. Should we
Sorry, the realia here.
I guess we just need to really keep. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well. Okay, is it weird that I just want to kind of tie him up?
Depends on what the knots are.
Maybe we'll just watch him.
How long has it been?
At this point, this is right around the 3 hour mark. You're getting close to the end of your short rest, and actually Valis, you as well.
I feel like I'm having really weird dreams.
Well, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no.
Like that.
Let's find out.
+2.
+2.
Even unconscious?
Oh, is it against being
Even
charmed?
unconscious?
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Alright, that's a 17. +2, 19.
Let me look it up. I'm assuming that just
17 or 19.
it's just like my aura or something.
Yeah. What are you looking up if it works while you're asleep?
Yeah.
Your aura doesn't turn off, does it?
I think you need to be.
Does it say?
I don't know if you have to be conscious or not.
So if you go down, it turns off.
Oh, while I'm conscious.
There it is.
Yep. I have to be conscious.
So 17.
Okay. With a 17, you sleep soundly.
Besides turning.
You don't notice that.
Oh, okay.
So, with your checks, you don't notice anything else aside from Ori being kind of weird in his sleep.
We're gonna just... Billy's just gonna watch that.
Yeah.
You watch that.
Can I assume no, but can I work on identifying the gold necklace while we're on watch, or does that have to wait until I'm not actively on watch anymore?
If you had done that before, you could have taken a disadvantage for the watch and done both, but yeah, no problem. So 3 hours pass for you and 4 hours for you without issue at roughly the same time. The two of you can mark off a long rest. Your strength score goes back to normal. For the rest of you, what are you doing? Are you staying awake? Are you going to try to attempt a long rest? What's the plan?
So I am going to spend the next 3 hours in order, taking a short rest, identifying the necklace, and then I'd like to pause there and learn what it is, and then maybe the third hour is attuning if I like what I see.
Who's awake when I untrance? Is
The
it
two
just-
of us.
Oh, it's both of you still. Oh. What's-
So,
what's up?
do you often trance walk?
What?
You turned around, it was weird.
Do you not happen to notice you woke up and you're facing a completely different direction?
Well,
I'm still trancing, right?
No, you're done because
Done?
it
Oh,
takes you only 3 hours to trance, correct?
No, 4.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, you have an hour left.
I started first, so I. What?
You were facing that way, and we saw you turn while
I
you were
don't know
trancing.
where
and
I
now
was
you're
facing. Where?
You were that way,
We're in
and
the
now you're
mess hall
facing
now?
that way.
We're in the mess hall now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the moment, you're in the mess
Can I
hall.
take stock of what's
Billy and
happening?
Alina fully pointed out
Yeah.
to you, look, you were looking this way, and now you're looking at them doors.
Make a perception
Right,
check.
I know, but I have not
Yeah.
been in this
Take a
room.
perception check to fully take stock.
What do you mean you haven't been in this room?
Besides, well, consciously been in this room.
Because he was like dragged in, basically losing
Oh.
consciousness.
That's 21.
21. Okay. With a 21, you wake up. Billy says, like, do you often walk in your trance? You're like, what are you talking about? You turn and you look at Billy, and you look beyond Billy, these stairs, the ballista that is like in ruins. And from over top that, you hear so faint that you're not sure, but perhaps no one knows.
Do we notice him clock something?
I mean, you see the eyes narrow a little bit.
What's going on?
Well, I just got up and apparently I thought that I was sitting here when I fell asleep.
You turned around.
It was really creepy.
But I did
It was
not
super-
walk.
Okay. Do you often do 180s in your trance?
Well, no, but walking and doing a 180
Okay,
Or
in a
is
trance
it
is
don't
very
split hairs?
is a very different situation. because-
hairs.
You hear, like, Billy's hair gets more prickly, the skin changes into an even darker hue, and you hear from your shoulder, Alina, oh, this guy. But, yeah.
Well, no, not typically.
So it's weird, right?
I mean, you tell me I was asleep.
Yes, it's weird. We're telling you.
All right, then it's weird.
Creepy as fuck.
I don't know. It's hard for me to make any judgment on the situation because I fell asleep and I woke up and I turned a little bit.
No,
I mean,
no.
Right.
Change that order.
But
Okay.
see,
So I don't really feel like you're
I'm grasping the situation here.
okay, and now I'm gonna say more because we are probably coming up against a succubus who is really good at charming people. So
It's-
Your track record with sexy charmers isn't great.
yeah,
all right. That could happen to anyone.
but it happened to you.
But we all survived.
I just think we need to be really careful. Okay.
I've been saying that the entire time we've been down here.
Okay.
So you
I
take
just-
a short rest?
Well, I guess now I
Yeah,
am.
Billy's
like-
definitely just taking a short rest.
So the two of you begin your short rest. Or you are now the only one awake.
No, wait, no.
No.
Hold on.
Short rest is in like just like power napping.
Gotcha. Two of you sit down, you relax. Or you are now, like, technically the person on guard.
All right. Well. So what am I turned. So what should I be looking out for here? You know, the shadows, more shadows. I'll look for the shadows.
I just.
Nothing happened except that you turned around in your sleep.
All right,
So that
well,
means. So, well, I don't know what it means, but we're coming up
well,
against
it
a
means
charmer.
that there's
so.
a list of something that could do that. And which way? It pointed me back up.
It pointed you straight in the direction that would eventually lead you back to that warrior's wing, the worker's wing.
Oh.
The place that you had seen all those cells, that place right there. It would eventually lead you would imagine, just thinking about everything, it's leading you towards the eastern door of this room.
Hall of Names?
No, the Hall of Names is to the west, although there's just a flat wall right there, so you need to find a different way to get there.
Alright, well... Maybe it's something... Whatever's doing it is probably telling us to go that way. So...
And do you often, just do what spooky voices tell you? Wait, huh?
I'm not saying that we do that.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay, listen, do you want someone else to stay on watch with you?
No, I'm fine now. I took a nap. I'm good. I'm ready to go. You gotta get me a bit more up to speed. You wake me up and you tell me that I turned...
We didn't wake you up.
Wake you up.
Alright, well, you didn't wake me up, but I woke up. You tell me that I turned in my sleep.
That's the gist.
Alright. You gotta give me a little more information than that, because
There's literally
that seems
no
pretty innocuous to me, and so now I've had to go through to figure out that it is probably more because of the significance of which direction I have turned and what is in that direction.
I'm just gonna stay awake with you until Valis wakes up. You go sleep.
Which at this point is like 30 minutes. You guys have been arguing for a while.
You sleep, you rest. I got this.
Take a nap. Go, sleep.
I'll just wait until Valis wakes up, it's fine.
What, do you think I don't want to be down here.
No, it's fine. Nobody should have to keep watch by themselves. It's fine. It's totally fine. Anyway, so how are you? How you feeling?
Well, hi, Mark.
Not a sponsor.
So the two of you make perception checks as you take this 30 minutes of a watch before Valis wakes up. What?
Can I do my eye for detail?
Yeah, sure.
Spotting.
Okay. Ooh, you really focus on Ori.
I really do, yeah.
With a 27, okay. So you stare at Ori. You try really hard not to take your eyes off him, but every now and then you do glance back to make sure that Billy's okay.
It's rude to stare, you know. Just generally saying. It's not for any particular reason or anything.
About 10 minutes or 20 minutes, about 30 minutes into your watch, right when Valis is about to wake up, you hear over Alina's shoulder, down that hallway, again, a whisper, but this one louder. With your 27 perception check, you hear, Alornos, I feel you. And that's it. Valis, you wake up. You can mark off a short rest. Or sorry, a long rest.
Vincent's face. So happy.
Your strength recovers if you have lost any as a result of shadows. Your maximum HP goes back to normal.
Oh man, I feel great.
Can I try to think of who may have been wronged and placed in such a place
Make a...
as this, given the context of the name?
Make either a history or an insight check.
I'm gonna do insight.
Okay.
Before
Who
I
has he
start my
wronged?
short rest,
Oh.
I just get Valis caught up to speed on. We think that there's some kind of spooky charm
27.
situation going on. He turned, now he's facing the door. I kind of don't feel like Ori is taking this as seriously as he needs to, so just be on guard. And then.
Was I twisting and turning?
Nope.
Thanks
I'm
for the
taking
note.
this very seriously.
Yep. I'm sure you are.
Ori, you think about this in the context of the name. Who might have been wronged? And suddenly there is a, as you are drawn back to the top of this ramp. You remember when the door had opened up, you'd gotten kind of a weird look on your face because above the doorway there was a banner. Tattered, but it had one word on it. And those two words, that one and the one that you just heard, they certainly go together. And this voice, it's familiar, You can't put a name to it. You can't put a face to it. You can't even put it into a time in your life. But there's something about it that is very familiar.
Oh, I like that.
Are you taking a long
I'm on
rest?
a special guard.
Okay. Use feature special guard.
Particularly in the direction that...
Problem. You do that. Valis, as you wake up, are you doing anything? It's a little like there's a little bit of tension between Alina and Ori, and then Alina catches you up, and
Sorry,
you go into the bottle, or how are you taking your short
spilled
rest?
the oil on you there.
I'll just normal style.
Okay, yeah, normal style on the ground.
What was your plan
No,
there?
well, I was gonna try
Did you think that the shadows were vulnerable to fire?
Well, I was gonna try to create a wall of fire and remove myself from the wall of shadow that had encompassed me at that point in time.
When Ori explains it, like, it kind of makes sense, but you think about, again, every time Ori starts talking, you remember, like, slow motion visual, these shadows looming over all your allies, and then Ori just spraying oil across, like, you, across himself.
It really came across better in my mind.
Our plans usually do.
Yeah, all the best.
I can relate to that.
And all that, yeah. But yeah, sorry, and I'm glad that we're not dead. So thanks for that.
We're not out of the woods yet. But all is forgiven.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, and I'm glad we're not dead. The Ori story.
Ori with a 27. Over the next couple hours, you hear the shift of stones, or you hear the creak of different things, and every now and then, though you don't hear any more words, you do feel like the pull of whispers from down that hallway. Alina, you take your short rest. You can mark that off, no problem. Billy, are you taking a short or long rest?
Billy's gonna attempt to take a short rest, but if everyone else is long resting, Billy will join in.
Okay. Mark off well, hang on. Right now, you have achieved a short rest.
I marked off a short rest.
Cool. What about you?
I'm sleeping until someone wakes me up.
Okay, cool. So right now you have achieved a short rest. We'll see if you get to a long rest.
Yep.
At about this point, Alina, you finish your short rest to begin to work on identifying this item. So over the next hour, you take a look at this sort of locket or amulet. 1 second here. I'll ask you a question. So as you examine this, you can feel that it is ornate worked, almost like sterling silver, and it has not like a bluish sheen, but when you turn it, it has this look like when somebody has breathed on something cold, that condensation that comes across it, but it's not really there. Like you rub across it and it's just a strange texture. It is always cold to the touch. No matter how long it is in your hand, it feels the same temperature. And you, at the end of that hour, get the sense that twice a day, this, and the thought goes into your mind, this is called the Amulet of Fickle Cold. Twice a day as an action, the person attuned to the Amulet of Fickle Cold and holding it can cast Cone of Cold at 5th level. If they do so, they must make a competing check using their spellcasting modifier against the first creature that would be struck by the spell. If the creature rolls higher than you, the spell fires backwards, centered on the caster.
Okay.
Plus the fickle bit.
Yeah. I would like to attune to this item, please.
Yeah, no problem.
What'd you call it again? I'm sorry.
It is the Amulet of Fickle Cold.
It's a fickle pickle.
And I'm sorry, I misread it. You can actually do that up to 3 times a day.
Oh. You can almost kill yourself 3 times a day.
3 chances. Don't give it to Minka.
Oh no, I would not
Because like cast a
Everyone
critical
behind me,
weight,
I'm gonna take
and
a
you
selfie.
turn like making sure everybody else is behind you. I can't hit somebody.
While
Frozen statues.
Valis and I are on guard, I want to ask him a question.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there. You studied a lot, right? A lot of it's gone though.
That about sums it up.
You remember anything about the Magiocracy?
What can I?
Make a history check. Make a history check. Make it an advantage. This is not generally knowledge that's been taken from you, and so while this isn't directly part of your studies, you definitely would have maybe you would have come across parts of it.
10.
The Magiocracy of the Rising Storm exists. It is composed of primarily magic users. It being a Magiocracy, those who have the most powerful magic are typically those who are in charge. Outside of that, you do know that there are 4 towers which are headed by the most powerful magicians or practitioners of magic in the Magiocracy. And these towers are each entirely based around composing a very specific kind of research, depending on who is in charge. Outside of like that, you don't know any specifics. You just know those things in general terms.
Do I know the 4 towers?
Yeah.
The name of the 4 towers?
They are the Tower of Amber Wings. They are the Tower of the Crimson Mage. They are the Tower of Crushed Blossoms and the Tower of Frozen Sea Foam.
I relay as much as that. Are you from one of the towers? The captain mentioned something.
Haven't really been there in a while.
Which tower?
Tower of the Crimson Mage.
What do I know about that tower?
With that check, nothing. You know what? You know that the colors of that place are probably crimson.
What happened with that?
I was just recognized something here that I thought might have something to do with what's happening, but guess that's all there really is to it. I was hoping
As in,
you'd know more. As I think there's a presence here, and it's related to at least one of the banners down that hall.
which banner was it? Was it your tower?
One related to, yes.
What happened to you that, forgive me for crying, need not answer these questions if you don't want, but what happened to you that made you say you were no longer part of your tower?
It was more the tower saying you're no longer part. Semantics, I guess. But yeah, just kind of got kicked out. No real need for a non-magical person in a very magical tower. So I was sent on my way out into the world. It's the long and short of it, I guess.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're here with me now.
That's a pretty strong thing to say, given that we're in the middle of ruins of a dungeon. But I appreciate the sentiment.
It's a lot of traps here, and I don't think
It's nice having someone who can keep me a bit more on my feet. I think, to be perfectly honest, I was feeling a bit bad because I think I really overutilize Minka's charity in that regard. So it's nice to not do so as much. Yeah. But yeah, so guess we're just waiting for everyone else to wake up and be on our way. I don't think anyone else is gonna know anything about.
Billy, you take your short rest. Is anybody waking Billy up or waking? Sorry. So, Alina, it has been left to you basically to choose whether a long or short rest is happening. Short rest has now occurred for everybody.
Okay. I mean, I certainly would want to make sure that everyone at least had a short rest.
Yeah.
I do that. No, it's up to me. Well, but these guys are awake, right?
You can ask them if you want, but Billy and Minka are both just out at the moment. And so you will need to wake them up if you want. Have it just be a short rest.
Well, Minka seemed really, really happy that she was going to get a pretty decent amount of rest. So I think it might be worth it.
Wait, probably.
What?
We should just wait.
Just wait.
How
Yeah.
much longer for? Okay, so Minka started sleeping before Billy.
I think she's about halfway through
Probably
really
like
getting a very
5 or 6
decent
hours into
amount
getting a
of
pretty
rest.
solid
About 5
amount.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, I think we're okay so far. Ori, how you feeling, bud?
I mean, relatively speaking, I feel quite fine actually.
No spooky turning?
No, just
Okay.
I feel like there's probably something in the direction though that
Yeah.
I was turned, as I said, and other than that, it's been relatively quiet.
Yeah. Get a load of this necklace.
Well, that's nice.
What does it do?
I tell them what it does.
Cone of cold magic that
Right,
ripples out like a powerful gust. Almost like blizzard.
And it might backfire on me, but worth it.
I
Probably
should stand behind you.
Be
if I
careful
can
with
help
that.
it.
That seems.
I'll be careful. Come on, you.
I'm not one to talk.
You feel like for your oil flask would just empty at your hip. But
I mean, listen. In battle, I will take any chance I can get to really make a big impact. And if it backfires, then okay.
It's a very laissez-faire attitude.
Yeah, well, this guy, he can heal.
I'm really sorry about what I said earlier.
so, what are you doing with Minka?
Just
Let
let her
her
sleep.
rest.
So you can mark off a long rest, Minka. Billy, I believe you can if nobody wakes you, then you can mark off a long rest as well.
We're all rested.
Minka,
Yeah, if Minka's sleeping.
as
so
you
he's
are the
too.
reason that the party is taking this time, can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Oh,
Thank you.
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah,
I
I
hope it was worth it.
I'm still focusing
Worth it, I
my
think.
attention on this
83.
Hall.
Okay.
High numbers are good
83
numbers.
spiders come crawling out of the ceiling.
Ooh, it's a wheel day.
Huh?
It's a wheel day.
What?
Oh yeah, we had the wheel.
You guys
No.
got your wheel already.
It happened like hours ago.
My ability
happened
is
with it?
called Whirlwind Wheel as
Gotcha.
well.
Gotcha.
Today is a
Right.
wheel day.
Yeah.
Oh,
It happened in, like, the first
very
sorry,
wheeled
that's
day.
Yeah,
Look at how wheelie. It's a wheelie wheel day.
it's a very
Oh,
wheelie
right, I
wheel
forgot
day.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, so wheelie.
Oh, it's wicked wheelie wheel.
It's a wheel.
So, no problem. You can mark off a long rest, Billy and Minka.
Yes.
And after that time passes, all of you awake one by one. And you are still within this dark place. 8 hours has passed. And as the time ticks on, each of you at some point probably remembers that time is of the essence. For what it's worth.
We need to
We should get
really
going.
move.
Not gonna matter if time is of the essence if we all get killed. All right, yeah, let's do this.
When she wakes up, Billy kind of like, how long did I sleep?
The
Feel
entire
really good.
time. We need to move.
Billy looks down at her hand and the thumbnail's back.
Do we have to go in the same direction that I was hearing the voices?
And you can just turn around and go home if you want.
Well,
It's in the direction of the door.
actually, right.
You have to
always an option.
You have to go in that direction to go home as well. But yes, you could, yeah.
Shall we make our way to the room with the door that is now open?
Might as well.
All right, we're moving.
Okay.
We're moving.
You make your way out of the western door down to the very end of the hallway where you have opened up a door that shouldn't be there, the secret door into the guards' chambers. From there, you make your way into these small, two little like airlock style rooms before you slip into the general holding area. This is the area where those bodies are piled in the middle.
Are they still like piled where we
Yes,
left
very
them?
much piled.
I mean, we disturbed the
Are they
pile.
in a geometric pattern known as the pile?
They are. Same exact geometric pattern, same number.
Pile
of
looks a bit
piles.
off.
However, the 10-foot wide doorway has swung wide open.
I don't like that.
I think
Was that
Like, I know that poking a blue thing did it, but why did poking a blue thing in another room do that?
I mean,
Why
didn't
did
really
poking
see.
another thing in a blue room in a cell do that?
Interestingly, also, not a single one of you feels sadness coming from here, except for you, Ori. And you feel it so powerfully now.
Is Ori visibly weeping?
No,
his eyes just start.
Well, I mean, there's not really much we can do besides go forward and be excited. Yeah.
So since the door is open, I would like to look.
forward?
So,
What's
Lena,
down
you
there?
take the lead and you like walk past these ruined beds and the broken chests. You look over, or don't, at the pile of bodies, pretty content that it's in the same space. And as you get to this doorway, it's chillier as you go.
I can
and-
explain.
Okay. You make this fire. And with this additional little bit of light that's coming out, because daylight has on,
High alert.
you can see that there is sediment just filtering in from through the doorway.
The air?
Yeah.
Like ash?
Literally, it is ash. As you look down at the ground, you can see almost like snow, very, very light layer has fallen just in about 5 feet from the door, like it's drifting. And as you turn, you get a little closer to the door and you can peer down. You can see there is this long room through the doorway. It stretches about 30 feet, although at about that point, you can see it just becomes much, much darker. And then you see 30 feet beyond that, the exact same room, almost in parallel. You see it's like the color desaturates at that midway point. And this is the point from which it seems like this ash is falling. You don't see it coming from anywhere, it's just ceiling above, but in the air at all times like that. In a lot of ways, for many of you, you remember being down in that temple beneath the sea where that marine snow is falling down. This is very similar in a lot of ways. But it drifts through the door, and you, Alina, see midway down this hallway a person. They stand there. They're wearing these dark robes, and you can see hints of reds and crimsons behind them, but like the color has been sapped away, and almost like the entire element of color has been sucked through. The skin is incredibly pale. They appear to be an elf, and you can see at one point maybe they had held what looks like a very prized book, although it is falling apart in much the same way as that individual's head was drifting and sublimating into smoke. You can see this book is like trailing off into the sky or into the air. Everybody else, as you walk around the corner, you do. Ori, for you, it's hard to walk around this corner. And as you do, there is this dread. And again, you are the only person that hears that name just called out through the dark.
Do I see this figure up ahead?
Are you rounding the corner?
Yeah, I gotta keep moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the person, are they standing at the point at which the hallway changes from regular dark to like very dark?
Would you like a little visual perspective?
Oh, yes, no.
Obvious.
Yes, I know.
Always. Oh my god, I'm so glad we took that long then.
Yes.
I was-
yes.
yeah.
Whatever that 83 was. I mean, it's gonna suck.
Oh yeah, no.
But it would have sucked more, I think, if we hadn't.
I was out of high level spells, so I was running
I was out of
everything.
I was out of all my spells, it was mostly
I had a single second level spell left.
We're probably still gonna get our asses kicked, but at least it won't be because we didn't have any spells.
Yeah.
I was out of every single spell except
Speak for yourself.
Everyone knows that Ori is the most magical.
I literally have 5 battlefields set up in the back right now. Because
I got this side.
Just
and the
because.
Tony Express is huge.
We got it. We got it. Boom. There's a
Why would they need another
portal.
battle map for
We
the Tony
see a
Express?
portal.
No reason. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. While Joe's working, I'm just gonna share with you guys that my coworker told me about this thing called Bear Can, which is just bears fishing for salmon in Alaska. I just realized that I texted the entire group chat about it multiple times, but for the stream, it's so good.
Not a sponsor.
Sponsor.
I have them in my hand. Which direction are we coming
So you
from?
guys are coming from that door right over there.
We're coming
And
through
so
the portal.
you can see there is this table that has fallen. It's not like blocking half the door. It should be flat on the ground. Yeah. And so you can see literally right where that guy is standing, that is where it's like the color just behind him, and it is just dark and shadowy. You can see it's like the landscape changes. It goes from being just like fallen, crumbled, ruined stone and broken furniture to like jagged bits of rock and these strange purple crystals that like rise out of the ground. You can see chains that hang from the stones here. It changes pretty drastically. And then beyond that, and where the door is on the mirror side of the room that you are entering from, there is just dark, what looks like smoke. And this seems to be the source of the ash pouring out from that portal.
So we knew that we were looking for a portal to the Shadowfell. Do I think this is it?
I'm going to let you answer that
Is
question.
it really dark and there's a giant portal down there?
Yeah. Just
Ori,
That's got to be the portal to the vampire.
I don't know.
for you see this individual as you like cross over, they're already looking at you. And for anybody who pays very close attention, you see it's like this individual's head is turning and watching Ori through the wall before Ori makes it to the doorway.
Is this the familiar voice? Or the source of the familiar
It
voice?
feels so familiar. This individual says, I thought I could turn him back, but it cost us everything. You. And he points, and you see this hand draws up, not the one holding the book, but the other one, and it is badly mangled. You see slash marks across it. You can see elements of bone hanging from it. There is a drip of very real blood that like falls on the floor in front of him, and it just onto the stone. And he says, may the tears in your eyes choke the air from your throat, son of the master. And he just takes this one step, and all of the shadow behind him, just 5 feet closer. What are you doing? Can you move from 5 feet closer?
Getting ready to fight and hoping that everyone else is.
Okay.
I'm
The
gonna.
sword is
What's happening?
out.
Ori, it's your bow.
So you see at this point as you pull it up, the book at his side already opens up.
You have me mistaken.
I do not. You can see these almost like voids for eyes stare out at you from the dark side, and 5 steps closer, or sorry, just one space closer, but 5 feet closer, the shadows behind him, and he looks at you and he says, Alornos Esalarios, the betrayer. I know you. And then 5 steps closer.
I'm shooting him. That seems...
Okay.
I'm moving the table.
Are you shooting?
out of the
Do you know
way.
him? Can we kill him? What's going on?
Is he coming threateningly at me? Given what he's saying, it seems like he's trying to threaten me with all of this.
Make a insight check.
With a good time. I like
that's
to.
a 22.
A 22.
I want to move this table out of the way.
Okay, so you begin to bend down, so everything slows down. You begin to bend down to pull out the table. Ori like squints his eyes. Ori, you can see like skeletal hand, blood
I'm
dripping
shooting
down.
the arrow.
He
I'm
calls you
shooting
the
the
son of
arrow.
the betrayer.
Aim specifically at his
So
book.
in the time that it takes you, so it's an action to do a perception check, and he's going to use this action to cast a spell. As this is all happening, you see very quickly this subtle and all of a sudden you see just this magical energy across the room. And because this is a good place to stop, as they cast this spell, and we are about to apparently go into initiative, that is where we're going to end for the week. Just a little early, but thank you for sticking with us for this session of Courts of Everest. You all made it finally to the Sad Man.
We did it!
Oh, this is the sad man.
Yes.
But we'll be
Yes,
back
he
next
is.
week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch. If you can't wait that long, on Sunday, there is going to be a replay of this, as well as the Mosaic Team 5 session 65, which is going to be at noon, followed by this at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But please stay safe. It is crazy out there. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.